logs off late from a long day's call, solving problems, juggling it all. When the day is done and the sun goes down, she trades the job for the open ground. There's hay to haul and stalls to clean, a muddy path where her soul feels seen. It's not just chores, it's something more. It's the dream she's always been working for. From suits to boots, from desk to dirt, she's proven what a dream is worth. You don't need fame, you don't need praise, just a will to give and a heart that stays. She's got spreadsheets open by morning light, with horses waiting come early night. She's not chasing gold or spotlight gleam, she's just living out her kind of dream. Long days, sore hands, and early starts, but the work she does with heart. 'Cause when you earn it with your time and sweat, you never live with one regret. So don't you wait for the perfect day. Find your fire and lead the way. You can thrive in both your worlds, wearing strength like a strand of pearls. From suits to boots, from desk to dirt, she's showing what her life is worth. Follow your heart and don't let go. You've got more fire than you know. Work hard, stay true, and see it through. Your double life might be the real you.
Hey y'all, happy Timeout Tuesday from the Mini Pearl. I just got back to the Mini Pearl. It's been a heck of a day, a week, a 10-day, I don't even know. It's just been. And tonight we did something really special, and I just got back and I realized that I have spent such little time in the Mini Pearl that it was a mess. So to prepare for this live, I vacuumed. I'm sure that you've noticed. I'm sure. I also put my clean clothes away because I did my own laundry today. I know you're super proud. And then I had to clean off the counters and organize, and it's amazing how fast a tiny little space can get disorganized when you aren't hardly in it. Because I feel like I have been burning the candle at, you know how they say both ends? Four ends. I feel like that my feet and my arms and my head, I feel like everything has been going different ways and trying to pull everything together. So when I got to be able to be back in the Mini Pearl tonight, I was like, okay, we're going to be great. It's going to be fine. So I cleaned so we could hang out tonight, and so that you wouldn't judge me for how, things get carried into the Mini Pearl. And I know you didn't come to see the Mini Pearl. You came to hang out as friends and sit across from each other and just talk about life. But here we are. Funny story. My mother was with me, and my mom goes, "You do know it's Timeout Tuesday tonight, right?" Totally forgot what day it was, the whole thing. So she brought me a teeny tiny little baby Yeti and a pre-mixed cocktail. So I have vanilla rum and some Coke. And, cheers to you all to Timeout Tuesday. Are you ready for this? Did you pour your drink? Are you prepared? Because I didn't like mix it in front of you. My mom did it for me. And that sounds really weird that I'm 43 and like my mom gave me a drink and made me a drink, but she did. So cheers to Timeout Tuesday. Okay. We have so much to talk about, and I'm going to try to do this in like reverse order as it happened because otherwise my brain may forget. Current state, I'm in Illinois. Still. I did get to have a little bit of downtime this evening and hold my beautiful granddaughter, Kinley Cole. But I'm a little embarrassed to admit that for the past 3 days, I haven't had a lot of time to do that. And it's not because I'm not here and I'm not present. I'm trying to do all the things. I'm trying to get them settled in their new rental, which I can say 5 minutes before this live, Xander loaded up the dogs. So the dogs will have their very first night in the new rental. And that means that we got everything settled to the most that we could possibly do over at their house. And it also means that I'm not sleeping with the dogs tonight and that I do get to sleep in the mini Pearl because I've been sleeping in the shed with the dogs to be able to like get this transition, going and still accommodate them. So me and the mini Pearl tonight, we are gonna snuggle, okay? Problem is, it's gonna get down to like 40. Yeah. It's been 90 here for 3 days in a row, and tonight it's gonna drop to like 40. It's gonna be fine. I have extra blankets. I'm not turning on the heater just yet. I am not. I will not. I refuse to. But I will be able to turn off the AC. So pretty excited about that as well. Okay. So I feel like today was also the first day where the kids felt a little bit more at peace and a little bit more settled. Let me just keep backing up. Okay. So because the dogs were not at the rental house, they wanted to get people that normally can't visit because they're scared of their dogs because they're scary to strangers. They wanted to let people visit the baby and see her in very short amounts of time. So my grandmother, Kinley's great-great-grandmother, got to see Kinley today and hug Xander and Kendra and see where they're living. And I went to pick her up. My mom wanted to come along. So mom buzzed over here after work. We hopped in the car and then drove to my grandma's, picked her up, and then went to Xander and Kendra's. And we were able to get a 5-generation picture, which was also super amazing. And in my mind, like one of the most special things ever. And then we hung out for a very brief time. We did not want to be a burden because Xander's other grandmother was there today. I think Kendra's grandmother was there today. And, just like that's a lot for them and a lot for the baby. And we just wanted to be respectful. So that happened. The other things that happened today, there's so much, because there's like compartments of information that matter and are relevant. So I'm going to go down the like kids and their rental path, and then I'll come back to talk about house path and just other things. I also spent a few hours today with Kendra. Xander had to run and do something for work. So I got to spend a few hours with Kendra, and my intentions were to get a whole lot done while maybe she slept or that type of thing. And instead, I spent over an hour being Mami and holding my grandbaby and talking to her. And then I also might have put a few bows on her head and took a few pictures like that. And then we got to wash her hair for the first time. And it turns out that she loved it. She loved water. She made the cutest little faces. I also caught her smiling on camera today. So like that is like refueling everything within me. And then I put her down and I was able to replace the toilet seat and the shower head at their rental property. So I legit went from like Mamie to like maintenance woman all within the same couple of hours, but I did not care. I did not care. That was something I wanted them to do to, like there's certain things to make accommodations and make you feel clean and that type of thing when you get into a new house. And those were two things that I wanted to do for them. So I was able to do that. Kinley has the most hair, and it is like super dark brown, and it is so soft. And I did not love the bows that got clipped in her hair, so we went with the headband bows, and Kinley thought it was the strangest thing in the world. She kept looking up at it like, what have you done to me? Like, I got my pictures. That's all I'll say. I'm yawning. Oh, I don't mean to yawn. Okay. I also worked today. I squeezed that in. And then this morning, I feel like it was before the sun came up, but it wasn't. An embarrassing thing happened. Like, I forget that this is where I grew up, and this is the county I'm from. I went to high school in this county. Like, I forget when you move somewhere like Texas and no one, everybody's a stranger and you're just as kind to everybody no matter what. And I am just as kind. I don't treat anybody different. But today, I had been calling people about this tear down of this house because there are a lot of stars that must align in order for this to happen this Friday. One of them is the plumber, because we have to get the water disconnected from the house, but maintain it for the garage, if at all possible. And we had to have, it's called in our area, it's 811, called Julie, to get everything marked that's underground. Well, water lines get buried like 6 foot in the ground here because of the frost line. So it's not like at home in Texas where you can take like a post hole diggers and find anything. No, this is like, it's deep. So I had the locate called, all of those things, and I called the plumber out this morning because we have to have the water heater. I want the water heater removed out of this house because it's still good, and we'll reuse that. And I also need to have that water line handled, and then we have to have the sewer capped. And the sewer was like one of my biggest like fears because it goes underneath the shed, and I was terrified that we weren't going to be able to do it. We were going to have to tear up the shed. Turns out that's not the case. Great news. However, the plumber called at 7 a.m. He wasn't supposed to be here till noon and had a cancellation. And now I've only coordinated with the main office for said plumbers. Now, this plumbing company has been around as long as I can remember. I knew the old man that used to run it. I never thought anything different because over the years when we've called them for when I lived here in Illinois to unclog a sink or other things like that, replace a toilet, I don't know. I didn't know anybody. Like, I fell into a really weird generation of like, I knew of people, but I wasn't hyper connected. Not like my brothers are. Today, plumber calls, says his name, and he's like, hey, I can actually come right now. I have one eyeball open at this point in time. I have no bra on. I am not prepared for anything. And I was like, can you give me 15 minutes? I use the excuse that I have to lock up their dogs. And he goes, yeah, no problem. I'll go grab a cup of coffee. I'm like, super, great. Y'all, I hoof it in here, get ready, put my life together, put in my normal attire on. I actually put a dress on, and I was like, ooh, no, too much to meet the plumber. Even though a dress in my everyday is real life, a dress here would mean something weird, right? Like, it would mean like, where is she going? Like, people don't dress like that here. So t-shirt, yoga pants, same thing I'm wearing right now, jacket, the whole bit. Like, I tone it down a notch because here I am. I come out around the corner of the house, and lo and behold, not only did I go to high school with this guy, I dated him. I broke his heart. And I haven't seen him since that time in junior year. And here he is. I don't think that he had any idea that it was me that made the phone call or that he was calling or anything, because my last name is different. I left here 10 years ago. I left long before that like to go on my career. And here's a man. I made him cry in high school. I didn't do it on purpose, okay? It wasn't like I wasn't mean. I just, and I hadn't seen him since. So when he comes walking around, I see him do a like, now I was a lot tinier girl in high school, and I'm praying in this second that there's no shot on earth that he recognizes me. I'm like holding it together, just keeping it all business. And he looks at me and goes, you know, they didn't have a 25-year reunion this year, right? And I was like, oh, dang it. Why did we have to talk about it? Like, couldn't we just have like let it go? You had to bring up something to recognize. Like, so I was like, oh, that's okay. I haven't gone to any of those things. I feel like you see who you want to see. And that's how I dropped it and just moved on. Now, we get to talking plumbing, and it gets even more embarrassing, okay? I'm like, the city was supposed to mark the water line and like where it goes. He's like, well, there's nothing here. He goes, it's blue. Did you mow? And my heart sinks because yes, I mowed last night. And I'm like, oh my God, I mowed over the paint. I don't remember mowing over the paint. But in this moment, I'm mortified because I have mowed away, at least I think so, the markings for the water line that the plumbers and all of the other construction people needed. So I'm sinking further and further and like, oh my God. First, he's going to call out the fact that he knows me. Second, I'm just as dumb. And he's probably like, you know, that Garth Brooks song of sometimes I thank God for unanswered prayers. Like all of these things are running through my head. And I'm overthinking it all. He goes, it's no problem. I'll call the code guy. The utilities, like the guy in Breeze. And I'm like, oh, I don't know if we have to do that. He's like, yeah, I'll call him. He goes, he'll know exactly where it is. He can pull up on his phone when he gets here. So he's like, call blah, blah, blah on his little phone thing. I swear to you, seconds later, the code guy shows up. It's not that big of a town. Code guy shows up and goes, aren't you two about the same age? Sweet Jesus, do we have to keep talking about it? Do we have to literally like connect the dots between everybody that lives here? And then he starts getting to it. He's like, your grandma's so-and-so, right? And your dad was Kurt. And your mom, I used to hang out with your mom. Oh, do we really have to go down that path now? Meanwhile, Plumber over here is just laughing because it's like 6 degrees of Jamie Walker. And I am just like crawling in my own skin. And I'm like, can we find the water line? He's like, it should be around here. Now there's 3 of us. 3 of us strolling around this yard looking for any semblance of blue paint whatsoever. Or the metal, you know, the mini manhole thing that has the thing where you turn the thing off. We're looking across the street. We're lining up with the neighbors at this point in time. I think the code guy's totally just like blowing smoke because he can't find it. I look down and there is a parking cone right in front of me, right where this mini manhole should be, right in front of the pod. Yes, friends. Yes, there is a cone directly on top of the manhole that we've been looking for 45 minutes and had to call in reinforcements for at this point in time. Thank God we found the water line. We found where it comes in. We found where it goes. And I can't wait for everyone to leave. Everyone. I'm just like, okay, surely this party's over, right? Nope. The code guy goes, what are you going to do with that siding on that house? And I'm like, I'm not sure because we've removed the vinyl and the asbestos. And now what's left is shiplap. And he goes, can I come get it? You mean like take it off piece by piece? He goes, yeah, I got till Friday, right? He goes, he called him my name, but hey, plumber guy, you want to help? So now plumber guy opens up his phone to show that they also took some old siding just like this, and it's in the ceiling of their home. So now, code guy gets on the phone, calls a couple of his buddies or kids or somebody, says, hey, we got till Friday to remove this siding. Does anybody else want any? Please, dear Jesus, just don't let me know them, okay? Could I please, like, step away from this situation? I'm like, you know what, guys? Y'all do whatever you want to. Just don't take, I list out the things that I want, and don't get hurt because there's no insurance for that, like, at all. And I have to, like, I have a conference call. Now, many of you would think, like, what a great thing. They're going to tear part of this down, right? You know, maybe that is true. I'm totally down for it. But I know in this town that you must deposit before you withdraw. And my own mother's like, why didn't you tell him, sure, how much you want to pay me for it? And I was like, no. I really was going to throw that in the dumpster. I was down with saving a few boards to be able to make some picture frame out of and, like, do something cutesy, but I don't have the time to take down an entire house's shiplap siding. I also know that it has a history of termites, and I just don't, right? It's not going to cost me or save me any, like, all of those things, like, totally fine with it. And if somebody wants a piece of it because that's with all their little heart, that's fine. I want it out of the situation. Nonetheless, code guy and his little team, I guess, is going to be here to start taking siding down tomorrow. And I will use this opportunity to, I'm going to be removing some of the doors and other things, but I figure that this is a good way to ask for permission to do some of the things that probably are not within, they're in some gray areas here in this town. So today I spent a little time looking at the code books and all the things that need approval by a board member. And guess who's a board member? He sure is. I am just going to go ahead and give him every bit of siding. I may even offer to help take some of that down, simply because I have a wish list now of things that I intend to say, hey, you think we might be able to get this passed? Or, hey, is there any way to get grandfathered in? Because there's, in every single thing, it says, unless otherwise approved by board. I am in the unless otherwise approved by board space right now with a lot of things that we're asking to. So it's all going to be fine. I had to live through a little embarrassment today, a little situation, a little bit of 6 degrees of who do you know and where have you been and what have you been doing and all those things. But it's going to be fine. It's going to be totally fine. The funniest moment, though, of all of this scenario is that Xander comes out the front as they're connecting the dots with who's who and figuring out that Xander is my son, because Xander's been meeting with them for 6 months and talking to them. And they're like, Xander, why didn't you ever tell us that this is who your mom was? And Xander's like, I didn't think it mattered. And they're like, we go way back. And I could feel him shrinking and being mortified and all those things. And all I'm thinking about is, like, you have no idea what this just did for us. Okay. We're giving away siding, probably doorknobs, other things. I don't know. Take what you will, but leave me my list of things, okay? Take the floorboards if you want to. I don't care. I don't care one bit. It's going to be fine. It's going to be totally fine. And hopefully we get things approved that we are pushing limits on, is all I'll say. So that is how my day started. What have y'all been doing? Okay, so legitimately tonight, after I get done talking and hanging out with y'all, I bought myself a little bit of a crowbar today and a new hammer, and Xander has a reciprocating saw, and I got myself a spotlight and an extension cord. I have screwdrivers and other things, but I'm about to go do some demo work. And I'm excited about this because I started walking through the house and I was like, we're going to save that. We're going to save that. We're going to save that. Because why not? Why put all of that in a dumpster? These are things that like are still very usable and are either repurposable or able to be reused in their exact capacity and are a cost savings if we build a house here. And if we decide to not build a house here and for whatever happens, there's still a value, and who knows? Who knows what'll happen? But I'm not gonna throw them in a dumpster. There's a lot of things in there that are not worth keeping, but they have this really cute octagon window that has like a foot depth thing that came from their bathroom. I want that. I'm going to cut it right out of that wall. I don't care. They have 2 interior doors. They have beautiful French doors that have the blinds inside the glass that are completely perfect and functional. I already took Kendra's sign down. I was able to salvage 3 ceiling fans already. The 4th one, Xander will be here in the morning to take that down. And I kind of want the stairs as well. And the reason I want the stairs is probably not what anyone thinks. But how cool would it be if Kinley has a little treehouse someday and those are the stairs to her treehouse? I don't know. There's nothing wrong with them. So, I think it's beautiful. I will save some of that siding to make a frame. That was my original plan. I did not have intentions of taking all of the siding like they want to do. So I'll probably save 8 or 10 pieces of it, and that's enough to be able to do, because it would be really cool to have something, whether it's picture frames or something along those lines. Even if you built a small shiplap wall and, as an accent or something like that, I think it'd be beautiful. But it's going to take time. So that will be my evening tonight, and probably my early morning tomorrow, and then my after work tomorrow afternoon. We still have several hoops to jump through to be able to accomplish this teardown by Friday. And one of them is the gas company. So the gas company engineer came out today and said, no problem, we'll get to it in 2 weeks. And we were like, we don't have 2 weeks. And she goes, well, we'll move it up as soon as possible. You'll have to call back in and tell them it's an emergency. Okay. So that is the priority call tomorrow morning. If we can get the gas line capped at the pipeline, then that will be, that is the ultimate signifier to be able to get this accomplished. The electric will be moved to a temporary pole on Thursday. So Thursday morning, the power gets shut off, power gets moved. Thursday afternoon, once it's reconnected, that'll reconnect. Thursday, the plumber will come back out because the excavator will be here to dig. They've had like no rain, just like we've had in Texas, and their ground is like concrete. So they'll dig that up. They'll also dig the sewer line and be able to cap that off on Thursday. And then trucks will be here Friday morning to have whatever they tear down hauled off instantly. And if all goes well, oh yeah, and don't forget Code Guy and his team tomorrow. If all goes well, by Friday night, we will be looking at a smooth patch of dirt, which would be like closure, I think, to this scenario, this circumstance. And it would allow us to just take a breath, pull ourselves together here, and figure out what's next. We have a lot of different potential paths brewing, but it's so much, y'all. I'm looking at lights pulling up next to me here, and it's kind of freaking me out a little bit. Hold on. Okay, they're just driving through. There's a lot, and there's a lot of like emotion. There's a lot of time investment. There's so many phone calls and so much coordination. And the beautiful thing about the small town is I must have called the city too many times this week, because when I call, they're like, yes, ma'am, we know we're supposed to be there on Thursday. And I'm like, no, I'm not calling about that. I'm calling about something totally different. They've all communicated, and we are apparently like the talk of the town. But I'm still parked behind Xander's house right now, Miss Terry. So I'm in a very safe place. But there's so many things that have to happen in order and have to be communicated and have to be put together. And I owe my mother big props, because the company that will tear down this house is actually the one she works for. And she was the one that says, the owner cares. She's worked there decades. The owner cares about us, wants to help, wants to do his part, and can make it a priority. Just tell us when it's ready. So that was really impressive. And my mom has been a guiding light on, helping figure out who to call and what needs to be done, as well as other people in this town who are pretty connected. And I've never been one in the place where I live in to be super involved in community or super connected. My brothers are. My brothers know everyone and can, just like the plumber here, call the code guy, can do the exact same thing. They can't go anywhere without recognizing and getting in multiple conversations and all those things. And I have always been like, I don't want to say a nobody, but I never wanted to be seen. I never wanted to be like looked at, talked about. I wanted to be less and to just get by with this scenario. So being a part of this like 6 degrees now is a really different world for me, because I was the oldest and I wasn't the one in sports. I wasn't the one who had a big group of friends or anything like that. And I'm the black sheep because I also left. And I'm not talking about Texas. I left long before Texas. I moved out of this county to 2 or 3 counties over when Xander was 3 years old, and kind of did my own thing. Got a job in healthcare and really took a much different path than everybody here who is born here, raised here, stays here, prays here, like everything. And I left. I came back, and Xander went to school here, and I realized it was a safe place to raise a kid, and that, having family support is incredible. But I never got ingrained in the community, not like my brothers, not like a lot of people do here. So being that black sheep and being the outsider in your hometown is kind of what I've always been. So to have these things all happen and for people to lean in and people to do those things is like, it's great, but it's also like, I'm still the person that left. And that's okay. There's some mystery behind the person that left, like, because people don't get it. Why would you leave? There's nowhere else that's any better or anything to do. And they genuinely do not get it. Like, this is its own bubble of place. So it's always good to be back. And I love that people are willing to help. And I love that Xander is part of this community and has chosen to raise Kinley here, and that Kendra's part of, like, I love that for them. I just know for me, I am way more like under the radar, do my own thing. And I have, had different adventures in my life and different visions and goals and other things that have happened. And some people frown on that because, again, they look at this of like, why would you leave? But at the same time, like, I'm me, and the experiences that I've had are things that I would never in a million years would have gotten to experience if I stayed here and did what everyone else did. And I'm grateful for that. And as much as I love being here and love getting to spend time with family and Kinley and Kendra and Xander and be able to accomplish all this, I really am missing home. I miss my animals. I miss my bed. I miss my bathtub. I miss Lester, and I miss my routine. And I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm ready to go home. there's a few things that I want to accomplish before I leave. And I plan to do that. But I'm ready to go. I know that I'll be ready to come back because I'll cry when I leave. I know that it's like a catch-22 rock in a hard place thing. But it's hard when your heart is split, I wish it could all be together. I don't know where that is, but I do. I wish that I could go home to my own bed every night, to my partner, to my animals, to that part of my life, but that I could also be here in a flash if Xander, Kendra, Kinley, my mom, my grandmas, anything like that needed me. And it's just not real. So for now, we will make the best of both worlds and split time and, make it work. I'm grateful for Lester for giving me the grace and the time to be able to go do all of this, because I left in a hurry and had no idea when I was coming back. And he was just like, just go. And even now, whenever I'm like, I'm so exhausted, I'm barely sleeping, I'm trying to be all things and squeeze everything into this short little time frame and work and, accomplish all the things. He was like, I can help you drive back, or I can fly up and I can help you do those things. Let you work while you, so be able to get you home. And like, I don't know, makes me get emotional. Just to have support like that. So I would love it if someone could invent teleporting. That would be great. Because I kind of need to go back and forth at my leisure. But to be honest, I will feel accomplished if we can get this house torn down and get this one part of the chapter put to bed. And then as far as the kids go, they have a warm place, they have a safe place, they have a clean place. And that will buy us time to figure out the next chapter and to be able to make the right decisions that aren't rushed decisions, and kind of go from there. So yeah, I would love for Lester to fly up here, see Kinley, get a little pee-pop fix, and then for us to take the mini Pearl back home. That would be the most ideal. I just don't know what we're going to be able to do as far as time goes, and a lot of it depends on this whole gas line situation. Believe it or not, the gas people have the power in every step that is next. So we'll see. But I'm just happy that the kids are in that house. I love that house. Can I tell you? I got a message, a screenshot, and the lady a lady who grew up in that house, her dad built that house, actually somehow saw the video and made a comment. She said, my dad built that house in 54 or 55, and that there were a total of 6 kids that lived there. And that crazy bathroom was built because, well, 8 people in one house, you need 2 toilets. And I laughed really hard, but I thought it was so neat that somehow that video got connected to a woman who grew up in that house. And I thought that was so special. And then she said, she goes, not much has changed at all. And I love that. I love it. I don't know if that house reminds me a little bit of where we grew up, or if it is just the nostalgia in it and how it is the same. I don't know, but it's adorable. And it's built really solid, so I know the kids feel safe there. But I didn't have time to record a full video for tomorrow morning. So what I thought I would do is I'm a little bit late. Today I played a video late. Tomorrow, if I get time, I would love to take you to the house that I grew up in. I would love to show you the farm, that my grandparents' grain farm that I talk about often. And I would love to be able to squeeze in just a bit of where I come from, because I've never showed you those parts. So I'm hoping that I'll have some time on my lunch break tomorrow to squeeze some of that in, sneak away from the siding removal that'll be happening here and be able to show you a little piece of my history as well. So there will not be a 6 a.m. video from me tomorrow. It'll be more like an evening video with everything that's going on. And I'd love to. It's harvest time here, so it's pretty neat because every highway has a tractor pulling a wagon on it. There's combines everywhere. There's partners and whatnot bringing food out to the fields and trucks, because they need to be able to get this grain harvested before it rains, if it ever will rain. It was a full harvest moon last night, so it is a really special town, a really special time in the area that I'm from. You see kids missing school because it's harvest time and they must help. Yesterday I was at a stoplight and there's like what I think is probably a 13-year-old kid driving a tractor, pulling a gravity wagon full of corn to the mill. And that is like something that I don't think that you see many places in the world, but here it's normal. And everybody helps, everybody pitches in, everybody's respectful. You expect to go slower on roads this time of year, and it is a very busy season. I wish my grandfather was still alive so that I could hop in the combine to show you what it's doing and explain everything, because it's so neat what those machines are capable of. And some farmers have some of the oldest equipment that they have fixed 100 times, just enough to be able to get through the harvest season, and they're very expensive. And you see all years and ages of people and equipment out in the fields, and it's just it's a special time to be around here. So hopefully I can get out and show you all those things and just show you around. I learned that the house that my dad built, that I lived in until I was 5 years old, is potentially going to be on the market. And I don't want to buy it because it's sat empty for like 15 years. Someone passed away in the house and it took that long for it to go through probate, and so many things it's a mess. But I would love to see it. I would love to walk through it. That would be really neat. That's not going to happen tomorrow, but I can at least show you the outside. And I just want to tell you a little bit about my story and, where I'm from. So anyway, I will keep you posted on what is to come. I imagine that Lester will be coming up to help me drive the Mini Pearl home. And I also imagine that I'm hoping that we can accomplish this and get this house torn down by Friday afternoon. And I'm really looking forward to seeing my babies. I'm terrified that my horses forgot who I am, that my dogs aren't going to recognize me. They're going to know I cheated on them and slept with 2 German Shepherds for a few nights, and their hair's stuck to me everywhere no matter how much laundry I do. And yeah, I'm ready to go home. Anyway, thank you all for joining me tonight on Timeout Tuesday, for being a part of my life and for loving me and supporting me and loving my kid and my grandkid and my other kid, Kendra, and just being so special and thoughtful to us. I couldn't ask for better friends than I have in you. I am going to go break out the crowbar. See what kind of trouble I can get into tonight. See what kind of things that I can accomplish before it gets too cold to do so. So I love y'all so very much. I hope you stay well. And I'm going to end this the same way that we started this video. Good night, y'all.
She logs off late from a long day's call, solving problems, juggling it all. When the day is done and the sun goes down, she trades the job for the open ground. There's hay to haul and stalls to clean, a muddy path where her soul feels seen. It's not just chores, it's something more. It's the dream she's always been working for. From suits to boots, from desk to dirt, she's proven what a dream is worth. You don't need fame, you don't need praise, just a will to give and a heart that stays. She's got spreadsheets open by morning light, with horses waiting come early night. She's not chasing gold or a spotlight gleam, she's just living out her kind of dream. Long days, sore hands, and early starts, but the work she does with heart. 'Cause when you earn it with your time and sweat, you never live with the one regret. So don't you wait for the perfect day. Find your fire and lead the way. You can thrive in both your worlds, wearing strength like a strand of pearls. From suits to boots,